Hey Ma, how about some cookies?
No dice.
This ain't over.
That's right. This thing ain't over. One of the kids was recently sick, went to the doctors, they did some tests, there's the results, COVID-19 positive, everything else negative. Text and Douglas telling him also included links to information on COVID, influenza and everything else, then do not reply. That's it. We're seeing a doctor, all taken care of, you would think. As far as from a government perspective, apparently this was all over. Pandemic was lifted. There's no more emergencies. But New South Wales Health leap into action. We get a duplicate message on the same thing that we've already got all the information on. They're still making mention of what to do if you get COVID. You've already seen your doctor. You'd have all that information. The only difference is it's advice because it's a recommendation. It's the exact same information as what was on the health orders when police used to chase you down the street. There's more COVID links and another COVID link to the bottom there. You go to the symptom checker. Well, you've just been to a doctor. You can't assess the symptoms any better than your doctor, and they've still got a 24-hour coronavirus helpline. You didn't know that was still going, did you? Unless you get these text messages. This is obviously an automatically generated text message. And they've got another link to a questionnaire if your kid's fat. Also received another text message. This was actually to my son, so we know it's auto-generated, but it came to me as a guardian with another link to information. Now, this text message actually makes sense for its intent, in that if you work in a high-risk area, well, you don't go to work if you're sick. Now, they've got a link, and it's got, you should do the following, unlike during the health orders where you had to do the following, unless you get a fine, complete the form below. So this is a generated one specifically for yourself, a personalised one. So even though Queensland Health have come out with their study and found that it's just the flu, and all these other international research bodies are also saying it was only the flu all along, apparently this ain't over, according to government. So how long can they keep this thing going? Because Greg Hunt ceased the emergency exactly 33 days before the election so that they could hold it, bring that back to the Constitution. That was back on the 17th of April 2022. So it should have been over back then. But it's still on the books. It doesn't sunset until 2031, meaning it doesn't have to be fully reintroduced into Parliament and get passed. The Commonwealth Health Minister could just give advice to the Governor-General, bang, we're under another emergency for human coronavirus with pandemic potential. And they've still kept this coronavirus legislation in force. What, are they planning on having another emergency? Well, of course they are. There might be a couple between now and 2031. So while we haven't got hysterical politicians at the microphone talking as though the world's going to end with this virus, and 10 reporters on mainstream media panicked about it, we haven't got that at the moment. They're still keeping it going behind the scenes with these text messages. And all the infrastructure's still there, obviously with all of these links and the phone line you can call 24/7, as well as the legislation. Well, that's the situation. That's it for this one.